we talked of GPU and CPU compute. AI is taking the world by storm, and we are all first person. We have first person accounts of what it is doing for each of us. In your own fields, in communications, and broadly in electrical engineering, where do you see AI coming to help, and what could a young engineer do to equip themselves? I want to add one thought. I remember you when we were discussing faculty recruitment. You had a vision that every department should have domain AI capability. Elaborate on that, please, and help us understand where AI is taking the
So
wheel.
AI is not that new, as I think I mentioned it a little while ago. That AI has been around. The techniques of AI are many techniques of AI have been around for many decades. Many of them are based on very solid optimization methodology that has been developed in mathematics, in applied mathematics, in engineering, and so on. The big difference is, the method we all use as engineers to use these optimize. Engineering is all about optimization, how to get something done
Sure.
with lower energy, lesser material, faster, better, so on. The way we tried to optimize a system that we were designing is to build a model for it. Real life systems follow models to some degree because the laws of nature don't necessarily follow the models that we have, or
Yeah.
we don't have good enough models for them. Or the systems that we build don't necessarily follow the models that we would like them to follow. Then we manage those models. We put in factors of safety. We hope that things will work. That's generally how aeroplanes are built. Buildings are designed. You don't know exactly too much about the soil that you're building the building on. You have to put in factors of safety. You don't know too much about what the wind is going to be. You have some data on wind and so on. So you build these things. All engineers do this. Now the point is what is happening with the simultaneous ascendance of compute capability and sensing capability. So the other thing that's happened with all these electronics, in combination with various other devices that leverage various other physical phenomena, is that we are building more and more versatile sensors that can measure all kinds of things. The physical parameters like temperature and pressure and all these things are obvious ones, but there are so many things we measure in real time. And associated with that, the communications capability that has been built with the same electronics. So combination of electronics and sensing, materials and so on gives you sensors. Then the ability to communicate the measurements over distances instantaneously is built by the same electronics, miniaturized electronics with communications.
Sure.
So you have all these sensors that you can leave inside pillars, in buildings, on overpasses, and on your phones, and everywhere, and on the human body. So all these sensors are collecting data, and now what is happening is, or you have a sensor on the wrist of a operator who's doing grinding in a factory using a grinding wheel. You are constantly picking up how much pressure is being applied, how the grinding wheel is responding, and so on. All of this can be picked up. So you've got now thousand eyes and ears watching and hearing, sensing what's going on in a system where you have some model which is approximate. Now the question is, how can you use all this data, both past data and real-time data, to along with the model to do a better job of what you were trying to do as an engineer, and let the compute engine figure out what the underlying model is. You don't even have to know it. So that is what AI is coming to in everything, right? So the ability to this is what a human being would do with some limited measured data earlier, and we call that experience. Now you can do it with limited. Even now there are many situations where you have only limited data, but in many situations you have more data, and therefore these engines compute engines that actually figure out, AI engines that actually figure out how to optimize it, or what may happen in the future, when it might fail, and so on, are becoming better and better, and newer such computer AI engines are being brought into play every day. So AI is, and that's why people say AI will enter everything, right? Because wherever you can do better at whatever you wanted to optimize by collecting real-time data, by looking at past data, and changing the behavior of whatever your system that you're engineering to do whatever you want to do better, consume less energy, consume less material, have less breakdowns, whatever it is. I think, or drive the car on its own. I think they are going to come in. So that's really what.
But it is not an AI engineer, but it's an electrical engineer with AI knowledge that would be more
Yeah, I
valuable.
think the one aspect of this is knowing this new technique which allows machines to look at data and learn how to interpret the data. It's not that we are telling it, plug this formula in data into this formula and do. That's different. It's actually figuring out the formula, right? In its own way, not even printing a formula, right? So you have to learn how to. It's a new animal that's come out. You have to learn how to control it, how to make it do what you want, right? So I think of it as that now extinct fellow who used to do this show on the road with the monkey,
Hmm.
right? So if you were suddenly handed over that monkey, which with proper training can be made to do things that you can predictably ask it to do,
Sure.
you have to learn how to do that, right? You have to
Correct.
learn how to make that monkey do those things, or maybe may do something not yet done before and learn those. Only then you can get it to do things, right? So I think people have to invest in the time and energy to learn about this AI. But yes, it is in the combination of that application of that AI or the combination of AI in various domains where it's going to have the maximum.
Sure.
And it can do some things well, it can't do some things as well at any given point in time. It may do some things better tomorrow as people learn how to make it do things. But and therefore, knowing what it does well, knowing what it doesn't do that well is also very important in finally putting out a useful system today at any point in time. Because if you put out something which claims with claims that which don't stand up to scrutiny, then people are going to get upset. So all of that is important. So I think there's a huge scope for people to master this new capability, even as it's improving every day, and bring it to play in many
In
things.
different domains.